On this channel, I often speak about facing your fears and how oftentimes what we want in life is hiding behind the dragon that we find ourselves running from. The reason why this video has been so long in the making is because after returning from the 21 Studios convention as a speaker, I found myself under this microscope of scrutiny within my own conscience, my own soul. And I came back with the realization that there were so many more things that I could be doing, that I should be doing. But what's more, I learned that there were things that I've held myself back from for a long time. And today's message is kind of a collection of several different things. But in particular, I want to answer a question that was asked a month or so ago from a subscriber named D. D asked if I thought that he could find a mentor remotely, or if it was somebody that I felt that he needed to have one-on-one, face-to-face correspondence with. A short answer, real quick, simple answer, is that you can find a mentor wherever you find information that's compelling for you to act. But what I want to talk about today is the necessity for men, no matter where you are in life, to find a group of men, or at a minimal, a person that you can look to, turn to, and get advice from, who has traveled the path that you wish to, or has attained a level of success or achievement that you wish to do. I think one of the hardest things for men to do in general is to admit that we don't have everything figured out and that we need help. And I've experienced that several times in my own life, in particular when I was racing professionally. Because I'm a trainer, because I own a gym, because I've spent the majority of my life studying, I thought that I knew what I needed to do in order to become the best BMX racer that I could. But after I hung up the bike and reflected on the career that I had, I realized that what I had done in designing my program and carrying out my program was the very thing that hamstrung me, that kept me from reaching the top of the podium. And that was simply that I put most of my focus on the things that I was strong at, which was strength training, which was being strong, and not enough emphasis on my weaknesses, my start, my sprint acceleration. These things had deteriorated with time, but also because I had a bad experience with the start where I hit the gate and flipped over, and that caused a mental block. And rather than go and practice bad gates, I would lie to myself and say that I would make up for the difference in the squat rack. And squatting close to 600 pounds frequently, I thought that was supposed to make me a better racer. In reality, it was the last thing that I needed to do. That was the one pillar that I had fortified to no end, and it was actually serving as a detriment. And so had I sought out a coach, had I paid someone else to tell me what I needed to do, I would have got a clear, unbiased opinion, a clear, structured program that would have tackled the very thing that would have kept me, that would have gotten me the results that I wanted. And I see that as I've gotten older, the pride, the ego of men in particular, in coming to the gym. I see guys all the time around town with their titties and their XXX shirts, and every time I see them, they come with the same narrative. Oh man, I need to come see you, but first I'm gonna get myself in better shape, which is, it's cognitive dissonance at its finest. And every time I see these people, they're in worse for wear. And that's what so many people do in life. They feel like, you know what, I didn't make it last time, but this time I'm gonna do the same exact shit and I'm gonna have success. And these are lies. I have to be honest, when I went to the 21 convention as a speaker, I had no idea what to expect. But for sure, absolute certainty, I didn't expect to come away with a magnifying glass on myself. I didn't expect to come away from that convention with the motivation and the determination to face further fears. Because public speaking is, in fact, one of the most terrifying things that a person can do. And I understand now why it's high on the list of people's fears. I stumbled my way through that, and it was somewhat of a cleansing event, because in trying to guide men down a path that is different from the one that I took, I found myself sharing things about my past that I've never told anyone in my life. And when I got home, there was an emotional dump that happened. And I took a real good look at my life as if I was the benefactor of this convention. And for the last 2 weeks, I've been grinding and facing down the dragons that have kept me away from the attainment of the achievements that I want to have in my life. See, I've had this channel for several years, and not once have I ever mentioned or tried to help anybody with the main thing that I'm good at, and that's changing people's physique. That's changing people's life by giving them their physicality back, and athletically making them on such a level of badassity that when they go back to school or whatever their event is, that they are head and shoulders above their competition. And that's what I'm good at. But because I planted a seed in my brain a long time ago, watching guys like Elliot Holston, Joe DeFranco, and the other early pioneers on YouTube, I told myself a story that I couldn't compete with these guys. And so I kept my practice local, and I did my thing, and I stayed away from social media. And then after meeting Elliot Holston, spending time speaking with him, and wargaming a collective event together, I came to realize, you know what, man, you've spent decades of your life dedicated to learning how to make somebody better than what they were, better than what they thought they could be. You have spent thousands of hours on your craft. You are worthy of this. And I think that was probably one of the things for me that was transformative, because even though I tried to help men find their way, even though I try to help men by explaining to them the mistakes that I made and the path that I think that is best for them to take so they don't end up where I did, I came to realize that there was a lot of places, a lot of things that I've told myself stories about, believed lies about, things that I had yet to uncover. And so the purpose of this message is to answer Dee's question about mentors, but really to drive a couple of nails into this, because I want you to understand the importance of surrounding yourself with people that move you forward. Your circle of influence, the people that you allow to influence your life in real life, but even more so because we live in this weird avatar digital world, the populations that you make yourself part of online, those communities online, these things have become poisonous, because we've got factions and sects of people who have given into their weakness and made a big living, a big platform off of propagating people being losers, men being apathetic. These things are easy to fall into, because looking at yourself and taking responsibility for your life and understanding that you can change it if you change yourself, that's hard to do. It's much easier to blame the world, blame the women, blame society, blame the government. It's way easier to blame all of these things than to look at yourself and ask yourself, have I really done everything possible to achieve the goals that I say that I want? See, a lot of times we put barriers in front of ourselves. We tell ourselves lies about things. We believe things that we think are true because we're fearful. And many times, myself included, we can't see these things. We have these delusions in our brain, and we play mental gymnastic games with ourselves to keep ourselves from approaching and attacking the thing that we truly want in life. It's important that you surround yourself with men that are driving forward toward their goals. Men that are dead set on their purpose, and that's where their focus is. Not on fun, not on entertainment, not on all the pleasures that detract us from what we want. Get around people who are doing the things that you want to do. Get around people that are better than you, instead of surrounding yourself with people that are just like you. The answer to your question is this. You can find a mentor wherever you find words that inspire you. But one of the problems that we have in this generation, and one of the things that is imperative that young men fix, is this instant gratification expectation. You buy a book, you buy a program, you attend a seminar, and you expect instant gratification. And that's not the way that it works. What you need to do is find someone, whoever it is, that inspires you to do the things that you know you need to do, that you're averse to. And anybody who gives you a message of discipline, ownership, responsibility, and accountability, a man who gives you that message in the manner in which you wish to hear it is a good mentor. But just like any other tool, if you don't use it, it's never going to fix your problem. A good mentor can be found in books, can be found online, it can be found in another person. It's simply somebody who tells you what you need to hear and inspires you to move on it. A good coach is someone who doesn't bullshit you and tells you the truth, spots the things where you're weak, and tells you the truth when you're lying to yourself. All of us need mentors, myself included. All of us need men around us who can see us as we really are and tell us that truth. Out.